Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let the day slowly fade away. Imagine yourself under a calm night sky, where the stars remind us of the stories that shine through history. Tonight, as you rest, we will travel back in time, listening to a journey of resilience, courage, and the fight for freedom. Let your heart be still, your mind open, and allow the rhythm of history to gently carry you. Fannie Lou Hamer was born on October 6, 1917, in Montgomery County, Mississippi, the youngest of 20 children in a family of sharecroppers. Life was harsh from the very beginning. By age 6, she was already working in the cotton fields. Her family struggled against poverty, discrimination, and the weight of a system designed to keep them trapped. Fannie Lou had only a sixth-grade education before being pulled full-time into the grueling cycle of farm labor. But even as a child, she had a strong sense of justice. She asked questions others were afraid to ask. She felt the sting of injustice deeply, and though she had little schooling, her wisdom would one day echo far beyond Mississippi's fields. In 1944, she married Perry Pap Hamer, and together they continued farming in Sunflower County. For nearly 2 decades, she lived quietly, working long hours for little pay, living under the shadow of segregation. Then, in her mid-40s, something happened that would change the course of her life and the course of history. In 1962, Fannie Lou attended a meeting led by the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, or SNCC. They spoke about the right to vote, a right Black Mississippians were systematically denied through literacy tests, poll taxes, and intimidation. That night, she decided she would try to register, but registering to vote was dangerous. When Fannie Lou attempted it, she was harassed, threatened, and ultimately fired from the plantation where she had worked for 18 years. Still, she refused to be silenced. She once said, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired." Those words became her rallying cry. Her activism was met with brutality. In June 1963, she and other activists were arrested in Winona, Mississippi, after returning from a voter training workshop. While in jail, she was savagely beaten by police officers and inmates at their command. The beating left her with permanent injuries, kidney damage, a limp, and a blood clot in her eye. Yet she emerged from that jail cell stronger than ever, determined to keep fighting. By 1964, her voice was rising above Mississippi's cotton fields. That year, she co-founded the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party, known as the MFDP. The goal was to challenge the all-white Mississippi Democratic delegation at the Democratic National Convention. For the first time, the nation would hear her voice on one of its largest political stages. On August 22, 1964, Fannie Lou Hamer stood before the Credentials Committee of the Democratic National Convention in Atlantic City. With no script, no notes, and nothing but her truth, she shared her story. She spoke of trying to register to vote, of being arrested, and of the brutal beating she endured in that Winona jail. Her voice trembled at times, but it never broke. Millions across America watched on television, many hearing for the first time what it meant to be Black in Mississippi. President Lyndon B. Johnson, fearful that her words would sway the nation, tried to cut away from her speech with a sudden press conference, but the networks replayed her testimony later that evening, and her words struck a chord across the country. Her courage exposed the world to the violence and injustice of Jim Crow. She declared, "Is this America, the land of the free and the home of the brave, where we are threatened daily because we want to live as decent human beings?" Although the MFDP was denied full recognition at the convention, Fannie Lou Hamer's testimony changed the conversation. She continued her fight for the rest of her life, working with the Poor People's Campaign, advocating for school desegregation, and supporting economic empowerment. She also founded the Freedom Farm Cooperative in 1969, giving Black families access to land, food, and resources. She understood that freedom was not just about the vote, but also about survival, dignity, and self-reliance. Fannie Lou Hamer passed away on March 14th, 1977, at the age of 59, after battling cancer and other health issues. Thousands attended her funeral in Ruleville, Mississippi. She was buried in her beloved hometown, where her tombstone bears her famous words, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired." Though her life ended too soon, her legacy continues. She transformed pain into power, fear into courage, and silence into a voice that still echoes today. As you drift toward rest tonight, let Fannie Lou Hamer's journey remind you that even the quietest voices can rise into a roar of change. Her story is a star in the sky of history, shining brightly for all who seek justice. Thank you for listening. If you found peace and inspiration in this story, we invite you to subscribe to our channel and share these bedtime journeys with others.